Berlin is over. The rise is not. After nearly 2 weeks of breathtaking tennis, Alex Eala's historic run at the Berlin Open has come to an end. Linda Noskova proved too strong in the semifinals, bringing down one of the most talked-about grass court campaigns the WTA has seen in years. Yet even as her exit settles into the record books, a new statistic has shaken the tennis world. Eala has reportedly become the most in-demand WTA player of 2026 in terms of ticket sales, with nearly 500,000 requests to watch her compete across the season. Berlin may have ended her run, but it did not diminish her rise. It elevated her into a level of global attention that goes far beyond wins, losses, trophies, or rankings, placing her in a category of stardom the WTA has rarely seen at this stage of any career. What she built before Noskova stopped her. To understand the weight of that record, you have to look at what she produced inside the draw before Noskova ended her momentum. This was not a path shaped by easy matches or favorable conditions. Eala arrived in Berlin carrying the momentum of Birmingham, where she had just captured a challenger title in electrifying fashion, drawing an extraordinary global audience of around 4 million simultaneous viewers for her final. A level of real-time attention rarely seen even at top-tier WTA events, let alone at challenger level. That surge in viewership reflected a growing global appetite for her tennis, one already exceeding what the sport typically expects from emerging players. As one commentator noted during the grass swing, she had quickly developed genuine global stardom, backed by standout wins over established names like Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek, confirming her status as a real top 50 force. By the time she arrived in Berlin, she did not just carry form. She carried momentum that made her Birmingham breakthrough feel like an opening chapter. Elena Rybakina, one of the heaviest servers in women's tennis, a player who has dismantled world number ones on her best days, simply could not find a way through her. Alina Svitolina, a former world number 3 with a resume full of massive wins on the biggest stages, also fell short, unable to break through the level Eala was producing on those Berlin grass courts. Across the tournament, she played a brand of tennis that was clean, aggressive, and precise, and most importantly, completely unshaken by the growing weight of expectations surrounding her. With every victory, the momentum intensified. The spotlight grew brighter. The demand to watch her live rose with every match. Then came Noskova in the semifinals. The Czech player was sharp, composed, and fully deserved her win. There is no real argument against the result. But that defeat does not diminish what Berlin represented. If anything, it sharpens the significance of the entire grass court swing. She won Birmingham. She defeated Rybakina. She got past Svitolina. She reached the Final Four of a major WTA event and only stopped against an opponent who delivered better tennis on the day. That is not a story of falling short. That is a story of a young player accelerating rapidly toward the top of the sport, while capturing global attention in real time. 500,000 ticket requests, and that brings the focus back to the ticket demand, which is staggering when placed in proper context. Nearly 500,000 ticket requests in a single season for one player is a number that immediately sets her apart in the modern game. The WTA is filled with established stars, players who have built global followings over years at the very highest level. Yet even among world number ones and reigning Grand Slam champions, none have generated this kind of concentrated demand at this stage of a career. This is the kind of demand where fans are actively trying to enter venues, standing in long queues, registering repeated interest, doing whatever it takes just to be inside the same stadium where Alex Eala is playing. That alone signals a different category of impact entirely. This is no longer just sporting interest. It is cultural momentum. And the market is expressing something that rankings and seedings simply cannot measure. What the numbers are actually saying: this ticket record arrives on top of the 4 million simultaneous viewers in Birmingham, a figure that already forced a broader conversation at broadcast level about how the sport handles the growing Eala phenomenon. Those viewing numbers push tournament directors and television executives into immediate attention of the kind that standard streaming trends rarely trigger. Now the ticket demand has opened an entirely new front in that conversation. This time at the venue and tournament operations level. The reality is that current WTA hosting and ticketing systems were never built for this kind of concentrated demand. They were designed for a sport where attention is distributed across multiple top players, not focused so heavily on one emerging name at such speed. What Eala is doing is concentrating global interest into a single player at an unprecedented rate. And the infrastructure around the tour is visibly struggling to adapt in real time. What makes the situation even more striking is the context behind it. Eala has not yet won a WTA title. She is still in the process of rising. Her grass court swing has been the most dominant and visible stretch of her career so far, and it still ended without a trophy in Berlin. Yet the trajectory continues to point in one clear direction. With every tournament, her game looks sharper. Every major win makes the next feel more inevitable. And every match she plays adds another chapter to a narrative that a growing global audience is increasingly desperate to follow live. Where the demand is coming from, the fan base driving these numbers deserves closer attention, because this is not a single concentrated group artificially inflating one metric. It reflects something far broader and more organic. In the Philippines, Eala is followed with a level of devotion that turns every match into a national moment. Entire communities gather around screens. Public spaces fill with live viewings. The outcome of her matches carries an emotional weight that extends far beyond sport itself. Across Southeast Asia more broadly, she has become a symbol of pride and possibility, a player whose rise feels personally shared by millions. But what has changed most dramatically in 2026, especially during this grass court swing, is that her audience has expanded far beyond those regional roots. In Berlin, European fans inside the stadium watched her dismantle Rybakina and Svitolina with a calmness and quality that belied her age and experience, and many of them began paying closer attention than ever before. Even neutral fans who once followed her only loosely from a distance are now fully invested in her progress. The 500,000 ticket requests are not coming from one corner of the world. They are coming from everywhere. And that universality is what separates what Eala is building from anything the WTA has seen in recent years. Why people queue? There is something important in the nature of the demand itself. People buy tickets to watch players they believe in. They do not queue for seats to watch someone they expect to lose, or someone they are only casually curious about, or someone whose appeal is limited to regional loyalty. They queue because they want to be physically present when something significant happens. When a moment feels like it could become historic in real time. 500,000 people are effectively lining up for Alex Eala because they believe they are witnessing a player standing on the edge of something much bigger, and they want to be in the room when that moment arrives. That level of belief and emotional investment cannot be manufactured, marketed into existence, or artificially constructed through promotion alone. It has to be earned through performance, presence, and the sense that something special is genuinely unfolding in front of them. Eala has earned every single one of those ticket requests through the quality of her tennis and the scale of her performances across the season. What Berlin actually confirmed: Berlin is over. And it will sting. She is a competitor at her core, and semi-final exits do not sit comfortably with players who genuinely believe they can win tournaments, which she clearly does. She will carry the Noskova loss with her as fuel. Whoever stands across the net from her next will feel the intensity of that response. But for everyone watching from the outside, what Berlin ultimately confirmed is enormous. It confirmed that Birmingham was not a one-off spike or a passing surge of attention. It confirmed that the momentum she built on grass is real, durable, and backed by a level of tennis capable of troubling the very best in the world. And it confirmed that the record now attached to her name, most in-demand WTA player of 2026 by ticket sales, is not an anomaly or a coincidence. It is a direct reflection of what Alex Eala has become this season. Berlin did not end her story. It simply added one of the most defining chapters yet in a rise that is still very clearly unfolding.